Here we have an illustration of the addition of fractions 1/6 plus 2/3 equal to 5/6. We have a rectangle. This is a rectangle right here, and it's divided into 6 equal parts, one part shaded in. So this rectangle represents 1 out of 6, or 1/6. Here, if we look at the dark black lines, we have a rectangle divided into 1, 2, 3 equal parts. 2 out of 3 of the parts are shaded in. So this rectangle represents 2 out of 3, or 2/3. Now we want to add 1/6 plus 2/3. So what we do is we divide the second rectangle, and we divide each 1/3 in half. So we end up with a total of 6 boxes. From this illustration, we see that each third is equal to 2/6. We have 6 equal parts. We have 2/6 contained in each 1/3. So 2/6 is equal to 1/3. So after we divide these boxes further, so that now we have 6 boxes, we see that 1/6 plus, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1/6 plus 4/6 is equal to 5/6. All right, so we have one shaded area, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded areas, each of size 1/6. So altogether we have 5 shaded areas of size 1/6. So that's what we have here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 areas shaded in, out of a total of 6 equal areas. This is the process of getting what we call a common denominator. Here we have a denominator of 6, and here we have a denominator of 3. And in order to add these two fractions, we want to have the same denominator, so we change this fraction into 6's, into a fraction with denominator 6. That's what we did here. We saw that 2/3 is equal to 4/6. Now, mathematically, if we take 2/3 and we multiply top and bottom by 2, which is the way we get equivalent fractions, we see that we get 4/6. In number 1, we have 4/27, and we're adding 3/27. We have the same denominator. So how many 27ths do we have all together? We have 4 plus 3, we have 7/27. So we just add the numerators. If we have a common denominator or the same denominator, just add the numerators. In number 2, both denominators are the same. Both are 29. So we're just going to, and this is subtraction, keep that denominator and subtract 10. Subtract 4 is 6. So this is our result. Now in number 3, our denominators are not the same. We don't have a common denominator. So we want to get a common denominator before subtracting. A common denominator is a number that both denominators divide into evenly. Well, in this case, 3 does divide into 6 evenly, so we'll keep this denominator of 6, and we'll change this one to 6, to a denominator of 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to change both denominators, or actually we only have to change one denominator, to the common denominator of 6. That's because 3 divides into 6 evenly, so we can change 2/3 over to 6's. All right, and in order to do that, we notice that 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So if we multiply top and bottom by 2, we get the equivalent fraction 4/6, and now we have a common denominator, so we're ready to subtract the numerators. 5 minus 4 is 1/6. In number 4, we have denominators of 12 and 18. Let me rewrite this. 1/12. I'm just going to spread them out a little bit, plus 7/18. And we want to get a common denominator. So our method is going to be as follows. Sometimes we can just guess at the common denominator, we also have a method. We take the larger denominator and we keep finding multiples of it until we get a denominator that 12 divides into. So we start with 18 itself, or 18 times 1, let's say. And 12 does not divide evenly into 18, so then we'll try 18 times 2. And 12 does divide evenly into 36, so that's our common denominator. So we're going to change both denominators to the common denominator of 36. Again, we take the larger denominator and we just look at multiples of it until we hit something that the smaller denominator divides into. Okay, so 12 times 3 is 36, so we're going to multiply numerator and denominator by 3 to get our equivalent fraction. 1 over 12 is equivalent to 3 over 36. Now 18 times 2 is 36, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by 2. And now we do have a common denominator of 36, so keep that common denominator and add the numerators. 3 plus 14 is 17. Okay, let me just rewrite this. 3 over 20 plus 7 over 15. Now let's use our technique. Start with a larger denominator. And we're going to first look at 20 times 1. And 15 does not go into 20. So we'll go to 20 times 2. 15 does not divide evenly into 40. So let's try 20 times 3. And 15 does go evenly into 60. So that's going to be our common denominator. All right, so let's put it in. Common denominator of 60. Okay, 20 times 3 is 60, so we'll multiply top and bottom by 3. 15 times 4 is 60, so we're going to multiply top and bottom by 4. And now we're ready to add the numerators. 9 plus 28 is 37. All right, number 6, we have 5 over 6. Subtract 4 over 9. All right, so take larger denominator. I'm going to look at multiples of it. First start with 1. And 6 does not divide into 9 evenly, so let's do 9 times 2. Okay, 6 does go into 18 evenly, so that's our common denominator. So multiply 6 times 3 to get 18. Do that to the numerator as well. Multiply 9 times 2 to get 18 and do that to the numerator as well. And now we subtract 15, subtract 8, and so we have 7 over 18. So here we have 4 over 9 plus 5 over 12. All right, start with the larger denominators, multiples of 12. 12 times 1 is 12, and 9 does not divide into 12 evenly. So let's go to 12 times 2 is 24. Also not, 9 does not go into 24. And so now 12 times 3 is 36, and that one is good because 9 divides into 36 evenly, so that will be our common denominator, actually our least common denominator. Okay, let's multiply by 4 to get 36, top and bottom. And here let's multiply by 3 to get 36, top and bottom. And now we're ready to keep the denominator of 36 and just add those numerators, and we get 31 over 36. Number 9, 5 over 12 plus 3 over 10. Here's our larger denominator. So let's look at 12 times 1. And 10 does not divide into 12. Let's do 12 times 2. Also not. 12 times 3. We're looking for something that 10 divides into. Here we have 36. 12 times 4 is 48. 10 doesn't go in evenly. And finally, 12 times 5 is 60. Okay, so this time we had to go all the way up to a multiple of 5. All right, so 60 will be our common denominator. So let's put that in, put in the 60. And get our equivalent fractions. We see that we have to multiply by 5 to get 60. Top and bottom. And here 10 times 6 is 60. Okay, put in that common denominator. And now we add 25 and 18, and we get 43. All right, in number 9, 4 over 15 plus 5 over 21. Start with the larger. Let's look at 21 times 1. And 15 does not go in. Let's do 21 times 2. Again, 15 does not go in. Let's try 21 times 3. 63. Let's do 21 times 4. And we have 84. Okay, we still didn't find something that 15 goes into. Let's try 21 times 5. And we get 105. And finally, we have something that 15 goes into. All right, 15 divides into 105 7 times. All right, so let's put down our common denominator. So we multiply by 7 here. Here we have 28. And we saw 21 times 5 was 105. So multiply by 5. And we have our denominator of 105 and a numerator of 53. 28 plus 25, that's 53.